In this video, we're going to talk about how to set personal goals for your finances and making a realistic budget in the coming months that will help set you on the right financial path during this transition. First, let's talk about setting goals for yourself. Just like in other areas of your life, it's important to set goals for your finances. Here too, you should think about the SMART goals principles, that's the S-M-A-R-T, that we've talked about in other videos. The goals that you set should be specific, measurable, action-oriented, reachable, and time-bound. Apply these principles to making financial goals, just the way that you'll be applying them in making life goals. Choose goals that are realistic and where you can measure whether you've succeeded or not on a particular timeline. Now, let's talk about creating a budget. An important first step to financial stability is creating and sticking to a budget. The first step in making a budget is to identify the ways that you already spend your money. You can think about how you use your money in 3 different ways. 1, you save some of your money. 2, you share some of your money. And then 3, you spend some of your money. Then you should categorize those expenses. You can think about your expenses in 3 different ways too. 1, you have your needs. That's what you have to live or to take care of the people who depend on you. 2, you have wants, things that you desire but can live without. And then 3, you have obligations. These are debts you owe or promised payments. So the first step, for a month or 2, you'll write down what you're spending your money on to help you know exactly how much you're spending and where. You can use a bank account statement for this, or you can keep a journal. If you already have a bank account, you can use your bank statement from the last month or so and go ahead and make your budget on the budget worksheet now. Some of you might already have a good enough memory to do this from memory too, but most of us need a journal or a bank statement. Now, by tracking your expenses for a month or 2, you can see if you're using your money in line with your values and goals. Tracking your expenses might also uncover where you can make changes. And when you track your expenses, you tend to spend less. So you keep track of where your money is going for a month and look at whether each thing is a need, a want, or an obligation. And then you also think about whether it's a way that you're saving, spending, or sharing your money. Next, you capture all of the income that you have coming in each month. This will allow you to create realistic amounts for spending on anything that is a want or maybe even some of your needs. There's a budget worksheet on this same page in the learning platform where you found the video that you can use to fill in this information over the course of a month and then to make a budget for yourself going forward. If you're coming into the center, you can attend the course where we'll work on this worksheet together, and you'll continue to work on it with your coach or with volunteers and peers. If you're in a different location, you can still use this worksheet to track your expenses and income and work to make a budget for the following month. Next, let's take a moment to talk about the importance of saving and how you can do it going forward. So, why save money? There are some fundamental reasons to save money. Some people save money for their goals, to build wealth, for emergencies, to cover times when they have less income and more expenses, for peace of mind, and to get and keep a job or housing. So what are some of the things you can do to start saving? First, 1 tip. Shop around and open a free or low-cost checking account at a financial institution. You can save your change at the end of the day. Put it into your savings weekly or monthly. If you receive a paycheck, you can ask your employer if you can have part of your paycheck directly deposited into a savings account. Consider your needs versus your wants. Think about the items you purchase on a regular basis. Where can you save some money and add it to your savings? Like, do you get carry out, buy prepared foods, or eat out at restaurants a lot? Can you cut back on any daily expenses? Do you have services that you're paying for that you don't really need or don't use? Are you paying subscription fees for something you can live without or no longer use? Another thing, Before you buy something, think about whether you're paying more money only to get the brand name. It may be worth the extra cost, but sometimes a different brand or a generic item can be just as good or even better. If you spend less money, add that money to your savings. You can also look for free entertainment. Libraries, parks, festivals. If you would have gone to the movies, but you go to the park instead, set aside the price that you would have spent on the movies and add it to your savings. Stick to a shopping list. Put money you wanted to spend on something not on your list into your savings account. Also, you can calculate the cost of a purchase by the hours you'll have to work to pay for it. This will keep you from spending on things that you don't really need. For example, if your take-home pay is $15 an hour, and if you want to buy a clothing item for $65, how many hours of work would it take for you to get there? And if you think about it like that, maybe that clothing item just isn't worth that number of hours that you work. Is it actually a good value for you? Set aside the money you would have spent on that item and add it to your savings. Another thing you can do is always pay your bills on time. If you've been paying late fees, they add up. So put the amount of those fees that you avoided into your savings. And then also save as much of your tax refund as possible. You can choose to receive your tax refund via direct deposit. You can split it between a maximum of 3 different checking and or savings accounts. So you can choose to put it directly into your savings account. Okay, another thing you can do is to take a pause. Wait 24 hours before buying something you want but you don't need. And then if you don't buy it, you can put half of that amount into your savings. Last thing, every time you get a raise or a bonus at work, put some of that or all of it into that extra savings account. So in all these different ways, by consistently saving small amounts every time you receive income, your savings account will grow. You'll be motivated to try to save even more. Even that spare change you put in once a month into that savings account, it can add up a lot faster than you think. So finally, let's talk about things that you might save towards that have lasting value. These are called assets. An asset is something you own that has value. There are 3 different types of assets. You have physical assets. These are assets you can see and touch. Physical assets are valued based on their resale value. You also have financial assets. These are monetary. Financial assets are valued based on their actual value. And then you have something called productive assets. These are intangible things that can help you to produce more, like education. Like if you have more education, you might be able to earn more money, for example. Productive assets are generally not valued in dollars. So asset building refers to strategies that increase the financial, physical, and productive assets that you own. Being financially secure means you can take care of yourself and your family, even if unexpected things happen. Financial security requires both income and assets. You can think of your assets as the foundation for your financial future. If you own assets, it creates a buffer to help you and your family handle emergencies and hardships. It helps you reach your goals. It increases your options for education, healthcare, where you live, and other things in life. It can also help you earn more income and inspire you to look to the future and make long-term plans. And maybe most importantly, it can reduce the stress on you and your family. Think about ways that you can build your assets and secure your income. Both of these things are necessary to create a secure financial future. Thank you and great luck on building your budget and thinking towards a financial future.